the choice that defines an air force. The world of modern fighter jets is complex. Nations looking to buy new aircraft face a difficult decision. This choice will shape their military power for decades. Two aircraft often dominate these conversations: American Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, Swedish Saab Gripen E. These jets represent very different ideas about air power. F-35 stealthy, F-35 sensor-rich, F-35 incredibly expensive. F-35, a fifth-generation fighter. Gripen E, lighter. Gripen E, more affordable. Gripen E, highly capable. Gripen E, a fourth-generation plus jet. The debate is not just about technical specifications. It's about strategy. It's about budgets. It's about national sovereignty. For many countries, this is one of the most significant defense decisions they'll make. This comparison is more important now than ever. Many air forces are retiring older jets. Retiring F-16, retiring F-A-18, retiring MiG-29. They need replacements that can handle future threats. The F-35 is often framed as the only logical next step. It's the flagship program of the United States and its closest allies. F-35, high cost. F-35, demanding support needs. The Gripen E offers a different path. Gripen E, advanced capabilities. Gripen E, without extreme financial burden. As budgets tighten and tensions rise, countries need clear assessments. This essay will provide that clarity. Move beyond marketing and political hype. Focus on the facts. There's a common saying, the Pentagon won't tell you the full story. That's not necessarily a criticism. The U.S. Department of Defense has its own priorities. The DoD promotes the F-35. The program has hundreds of billions invested. That makes balanced official views difficult. Information is often filtered through American strategic interests. This creates a need for independent analysis. Decision makers need data not tied to a sales pitch. They need strengths and weaknesses, fairly presented, based on open source information. This essay will give an uncensored breakdown of F-35 and Gripen E. We'll examine what each can and cannot do. We'll compare performance. We'll compare sensors. We'll compare weapons. We'll dig into total ownership and operating cost. Goal: cut through the noise with a sober, fact-based comparison. Look at design. Look at cost. Look at operational philosophy. Understand the real trade-offs. Information Air Forces need: mission. Information Air Forces need: budget. Information Air Forces need: their nation's future security. Table of Contents, Part 2. Act 1. Design and Performance. 1. Airframe Philosophy, Stealth versus Agility. 1. Engines and Performance, The Power Within. 1. Sensors and Signature, Seeing Without Being Seen. Section 1. Airframe Philosophy, Stealth versus Agility. The F-35 and Gripen E are built around fundamentally different design philosophies. This is clear just by looking at them. The F-35's design is driven by one primary requirement: stealth. The aircraft's shape is carefully managed to reduce its radar cross-section, RCS. Blended wing body contours, angled surfaces, internal weapons bays. These features deflect radar waves away from the sender, making the aircraft difficult to detect. Stealth-first approach, central to its role as a penetrating strike fighter. Designed to survive in heavily defended airspace, while older, non-stealthy aircraft are vulnerable. Trade-offs: lower sustained turn rates and acceleration. Gripen E, in contrast, prioritizes aerodynamic performance and operational flexibility. Not stealth in the F-35 sense. Rather, a low observable fighter with treatments that don't sacrifice agility. Delta wing and canard configuration. Excellent maneuverability, especially at supersonic speeds. Allows for high turn rates. Impressive climb rate. Built to be a nimble dogfighter for visual range fights. Carries a large portion of weapons externally. Increases payload flexibility, but significantly increases radar signature compared to clean configuration. Structural differences reflect operational environments. F-35, Larger, heavier single-engine aircraft. Built rugged, carries fuel and weapons internally for stealth. Complex structure, extensive advanced composites. Leads to high cost and specialized repair facilities. Gripen E, much lighter, smaller. Emphasizes ease of maintenance and dispersed, austere operations. Can operate from short runways and public road sections. Road basing is core to Swedish doctrine to survive attacks on main bases. These philosophies create divergent capability. F-35 bets survival on not being seen. Get in, strike, get out before defenses respond. Avoids turning fights using sensors and stealth to engage BVR. Gripen E is prepared for traditional engagements, relies on electronic warfare, relies on speed, relies on extreme agility, designed to fight for and hold air superiority, including close-range combat. The choice between them is a choice between two different theories of modern air combat. Section 2. Engines and performance. The power within. The engine is the heart of any fighter jet. The F-35 and Gripen E show different design priorities. F-35, single Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine. One of the most powerful fighter engines ever built. It produces over 40,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner. That power pushes the heavy F-35 airframe to supersonic speeds, even with a full internal load of fuel and weapons. F-35A top speed, Mach 1.6. Useful, but not exceptional compared to some modern fighters. Engine purpose: give thrust for takeoff from conventional runways, and provide good acceleration in the transonic regime, critical for combat. Gripen E, single General Electric F414GE39E engine, a derivative of the engine used in the FA-18 Super Hornet. It produces around 22,000 pounds of thrust in afterburner. Less raw power, but the Gripen E is much lighter. That gives an excellent thrust-to-weight ratio. The result is impressive performance. Gripen E top speed, Mach 2. A key feature, Super Cruise. Super Cruise, around Mach 1.2 without using the afterburner. That conserves fuel and extends time on station. Range and payload trade-offs become clear. F-35A with internal fuel and weapons. Combat radius over 650 nautical miles. It can carry a total of 18,000 pounds of ordnance. But to remain stealthy, it's limited to 5,700 pounds internally. Gripen E combat radius, around 800 nautical miles. Longer legs for defensive counter-air missions. It can carry up to 16,500 pounds across 10 external hardpoints. External stores reduce low observability, but they give immense mission flexibility. Configurable for air-to-air combat. Configurable for ground attack. Configurable for maritime strike. Performance is tailored to roles. F-35 optimized for penetrating strike where stealth is paramount. Its powerful engine and internal fuel give range to the target. It is not designed to be the most agile dogfighter. Gripen E optimized for air superiority and for flexible response. Lighter weight, efficient engine, and Super Cruise make it a formidable energy fighter. It can patrol large areas efficiently and has the speed and agility to intercept threats and dominate in visual range engagements. Neither aircraft is universally better. They excel at different things. Section 3. Sensors and signature. Seeing without being seen. The most significant advantage the F-35 brings is its sensor suite and how it fuses information. The centerpiece is the Northrop Grumman AN/APG-81 ESA radar. It's not just for finding and tracking enemy aircraft. It can perform electronic warfare. It handles communications. And it does detailed ground mapping simultaneously. The F-35 also features an electro-optical targeting system, EOTS. It's a built-in targeting pod that doesn't add to the radar signature. It provides long-range IRST for air and ground targets. The Distributed Aperture System, DAS, uses 6 infrared cameras around the aircraft. Those cameras give the pilot a 360-degree view of the battle space. DAS can even see through the cockpit floor. All of this sensor data is fused by the F-35's onboard computers into a single picture. That picture is shown on the pilot's advanced helmet-mounted display. The goal? Unprecedented situational awareness for faster, better decisions. Sensor fusion is a core tenet of fifth-generation warfare. The F-35 is designed as a flying information node. It can collect vast amounts of data. It can process that data. And it can share it with friendly forces. Seeing and understanding the battlespace without being detected is the F-35's primary method of survival and lethality. The Gripen E takes a different, advanced approach. It uses the Leonardo ES-05 Raven AESA radar. The Raven has a unique swash plate design that lets it scan a much wider field of regard, up to 200 degrees, so pilots can maintain awareness without pointing the nose directly. The Gripen E also features a passive long-range IRST called Skyward G. Skyward G lets the Gripen search for, track, and target aircraft by heat signatures alone. All this without emitting radar signals that could reveal its position. That's crucial for countering stealth aircraft. Like the F-35, the Gripen E is built for sensor fusion and network-centric warfare. Its avionics process data from its own radar and IRST, from other Gripen fighters, from ground-based radars, and from airborne early warning aircraft via advanced data links. This lets a flight of Gripens work as a team, some searching passively while others use radar, sharing data to build a comprehensive tactical picture. While not as all-encompassing as the F-35 suite, the Gripen E's wide-scan AESA plus powerful IRST is highly effective at detecting conventional threats and low observable threats, often without revealing its own presence. Table of Contents, Part 3, Act 2, Avionics, Sensors, and Weapons. 1. Avionics and Data Links, the Digital Nervous System. 2. Electronic Warfare, the Art of Deception. 3. Weapons Carriage, Internal Stealth versus External Flexibility. When choosing a new fighter jet, the initial purchase price is often the most visible number. This is the flyaway cost that gets reported in the news. For the F-35A, the most common variant, the cost has come down with production. A single F-35A now costs around $80 million. But that doesn't tell the whole story. The flyaway is just the jet itself. Spare engines, support equipment, training systems, initial logistics setup. With those added, total program costs can run into the billions. The Gripen E is marketed as a more affordable alternative. Saab aims to provide advanced capability at a manageable price. Gripen Flyaway often quoted around $85 million. Saab's proposals usually include more in the package: spares, ground support equipment, training, initial sustainment. So, comparing simple flyaway costs is misleading. Buyers must look at total program cost. Saab often bundles necessary extras up front. The F-35 also needs huge infrastructure investment. Stealth coatings and complex systems require specialized, climate-controlled hangars. The IT systems, ALIS or ODIN, are extensive and costly to install and secure. Air bases need new facilities, security protocols, runway specifications. These upgrades can add hundreds of millions to the bill. For limited-budget nations, these hidden costs can be a painful surprise. The Gripen E is designed to minimize infrastructure needs. It can operate from dispersed locations with minimal support. No specialized hangars, maintained in simple shelters or outdoors. Serviced by small teams of conscript-level technicians with standard tools. That low-footprint approach cuts hidden acquisition costs. It makes Gripen practical for countries spreading forces or lacking funds for big infrastructure projects. So, the true cost of a fighter jet is not its purchase price, but the cost to operate it over its entire lifespan. This is where the differences between the F-35 and Gripen E become most stark. The F-35 is an exceptionally expensive aircraft to fly. According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office, the cost per flight hour for the F-35A is over $36,000. The Pentagon's long-term goal is to reduce this to $25,000 by 2025, but it is not clear if this target is achievable. The Gripen E is designed from the outset for low operating costs and ease of sustainment. While official, verified figures for the new E model are still emerging as it enters service, Saab and the Swedish Air Force project a cost per flight hour that is significantly lower than the F-35's. Figures for the older Gripen C and D model are often cited as being under $8,000 per hour. Even if the more advanced Gripen E costs twice as much to fly as its predecessor, at around $16,000 per hour, it would still be less than half the current cost of an F-35. For an Air Force, this difference is enormous. It means for the same annual budget, a country could fly its Gripen pilots more than twice as many hours as its F-35 pilots, leading to better training and higher readiness. Maintenance is another critical driver of cost and availability. The F-35 is a maintenance-intensive aircraft. It requires many maintenance hours on the ground for every hour it spends in the air. Reports from the GAO have consistently highlighted challenges with the F-35's reliability and the time it takes to perform repairs. The global supply chain for spare parts, managed through the ALIS and Odin system, has also faced criticism for being slow and inefficient, leading to aircraft being grounded while waiting for parts. The complexity of the jet means that much of the repair work can only be done at specialized depot facilities, further increasing downtime and cost for international operators. The Gripen E is engineered for rapid, field-level maintenance. Its design allows for quick access to key components. The engine, for example, can be removed and replaced in about an hour. Many components are designed as line-replaceable units, meaning they can be quickly swapped out on the flight line to get the aircraft back in the air. The stated goal for the Gripen E is to require fewer than 10 maintenance man-hours per flight hour. This emphasis on ease of maintenance and a smaller logistics footprint means higher aircraft availability rates. More jets are ready to fly at any given time, which is a critical advantage for a smaller air force that cannot afford a large fleet. A modern fighter is expected to serve for 30 to 40 years. Over this time, it will need numerous software and hardware upgrades to remain effective against evolving threats. The F-35 program manages upgrades through a centralized process led by the Joint Program Office. New capabilities are rolled out in software blocks. While this ensures standardization across the entire global fleet, it can also be slow and expensive. Partner nations have little control over the upgrade schedule or its cost. They are locked into the U.S.-led development path, and unique national requirements can be difficult and costly to integrate. This creates a long-term dependency on the United States for the aircraft's future viability. Saab's approach with the Gripen E offers customers much greater control and flexibility. The jet's federated avionics architecture separates flight-critical systems from mission systems. This design allows for rapid and independent software upgrades. An operator can integrate a new weapon or sensor of their choice without having to go through a lengthy and expensive recertification. This open architecture philosophy gives air forces sovereignty over their fleet's development. They can adapt the aircraft to their specific needs on their own timeline, a crucial advantage for nations that want to maintain an independent defense posture and a robust domestic defense industry. The logistics chain is another critical long-term consideration. The F-35 relies on a global sustainment system where parts are pooled and distributed from depots in the United States and from other key partner nations. In theory, this creates economies of scale. In practice, it has led to parts shortages and long waiting times for many operators. It also means that in a time of crisis, a country's access to spare parts could be affected by U.S. priorities and political decisions. This represents a significant risk to national sovereignty. An air force could find its fleet grounded by decisions made thousands of miles away, a fact not lost on many potential buyers. Saab often builds export deals around significant industrial participation and technology transfer. This is a core part of the Gripen E's value proposition. For the sale to Brazil, for example, Saab established a production line in the country and transferred substantial technical knowledge to Embraer. This allows the customer country to build up its own high-tech industrial base, create skilled jobs, and gain the ability to maintain, support, and even develop parts of the aircraft domestically. This reduces long-term reliance on Sweden and gives the customer a much greater degree of self-sufficiency. For many nations, these industrial benefits are as important as the aircraft's capabilities themselves. The way an air force plans to use a fighter jet is just as important as the jet's technical specifications. The F-35 is designed primarily as a day-one asset, built to be the first aircraft into a highly contested battle space. Built to use stealth, built to use advanced sensors, to dismantle an enemy integrated air defense system. By neutralizing those threats, the F-35 creates a safer corridor for less stealthy fourth-generation aircraft, F-16, F/A-18. The F-35 is the tip of the spear, a specialized tool for breaking down the door. The Gripen E follows a different concept: defensive air superiority, flexible response. For Sweden, the mission is defending national airspace against a high-tech aggressor. Gripen E operates from dispersed bases, hardened shelters, even public roadways. That makes the force resilient to surprise attack. In combat, Gripen flights use speed, supercruise, advanced data links to patrol large areas. They use passive sensors, IRST, cooperative radar engagements to detect and destroy intruders, while managing their electronic signature to improve survivability and keep surprise. For coalition ops, the F-35 offers high interoperability, but with a catch. Its secure MATL lets F-35s from different nations share a very detailed battlefield picture. That builds a powerful sensor shooter network, but to talk to non-F-35s, you need Link 16, which can compromise stealth. That produces a two-tier battlefield, a stealthy inner circle of F-35s and an outer layer of legacy aircraft. The choice between an F-35 and a Gripen E is not just a military or financial decision, it is a profound geopolitical statement. Buying the F-35 is a clear signal of a country's alignment with the United States. This was highlighted when the U.S. removed Turkey from the F-35 program following its purchase of the Russian S-400 air defense system. This demonstrated that access to the F-35 is conditional on adhering to U.S. foreign policy objectives, a risk some countries are unwilling to take. Choosing the Gripen E, on the other hand, is often seen as a declaration of strategic independence. For a nation like Brazil, choosing the Gripen E over American alternatives, over French alternatives, was a way to acquire top-tier technology while avoiding over-reliance on a global superpower. In the final analysis, the choice between the Lockheed Martin F-35 and the Saab Gripen E is not about determining which fighter is definitively better. The F-35 is a specialized instrument of power projection. Its unparalleled stealth, sensor fusion. It is the undisputed choice for day-one missions, designed to penetrate the most sophisticated air defenses to strike high-value targets. For a nation that is a close U.S. ally, expects to participate in high-intensity coalition operations, has the immense budget to support such a fleet, the F-35 provides a unique and decisive capability that no other aircraft can currently match. Then the F-35 is not just the best choice, it is the only choice. It is a tool designed for a very specific, high-end task. However, if a nation's priority is to provide a cost-effective, resilient, and sovereign defense of its own territory, with a highly capable multi-role fighter that is affordable to operate and easy to upgrade, then the Gripen E presents a more logical and compelling case. It is a versatile tool designed for endurance and adaptability. The ongoing debate between these two aircraft underscores a critical truth. There is no one-size-fits-all solution in modern defense procurement. The most important step for any decision-maker is to conduct a transparent, independent, and brutally honest assessment of their country's own strategic needs, budgetary realities, and industrial ambitions. Only by looking past the sales pitches and focusing on sourced, verifiable data can an Air Force truly choose the right tool for its specific mission. The final decision will define a nation's air power, its sovereignty, and its security for the next 40 years, making a clear-eyed choice more critical than ever.